Hey, fourth grade, our next lesson is Module 5, Lesson 21, and we're going to be adding unlike denominators again, but this time they're going to be creating something that is more than one whole. So take your time to write in your table of contents. We'll be doing 2 pages today, and when you're ready, we're going to move on. Pause this video if you need more time. Use a tape diagram to represent each addend. Remember, an addend is what gets added together in an addition sentence. Decompose one of the tape diagrams to make like units. Then write the complete number sentence. So first we have 3/5, our largest unit, so I'm going to show that first. And 3 of them will be shaded in. And we're going to add that to 8/10. I'm going to be very careful to create my tenths. So there are my tenths, and I'm going to shade in 8 of them. How can we decompose our fifths into tenths to make like units? So this is going to be really similar to what we were doing in the last lesson. We want to take our larger unit and decompose it so it's the same as our smaller unit. The factor that gets us from 5 to 10 is 2. 5 times 2 equals 10. So let's decompose each of our fifths into 2 pieces. And now you can see it lining up much better with the tape diagram below. 3/5 has changed as a fraction. What was once 3 out of 5 pieces, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 pieces. If we add that to 8/10, our tenths remain the same, but 6 plus 8 equals 14. Right now, this is an improper fraction, which means that our numerator is greater than our denominator. So we're going to pull out one whole group and see what's left over. If I pull out one whole, that would be 10 out of 10 pieces, which leaves us with 4 more tenths, since 14 take away 10 equals 4. My 10/10 represents one whole, and my additional 4/10 are my fractions in my mixed number. 14/10 is the same as 1 and 4/10. Let's practice that again. 4/6 plus 1/2. I'm going to start with my larger units, my halves. Shade in one of them. And then I'm going to show my sixths. And I'll shade in 4 of those sixths. How can we decompose our halves into sixths to make like units? What's that missing factor that gets us from 2 to 6? 2 times what equals 6? 2 times 3, which means I'm going to decompose each of my halves into 3 pieces. My original fraction, 1/2, has now changed. Now 1/2 is 1, 2, 3 out of 6 pieces. I'll add that to my other sixths, 4/6, and see what I get. My units remain the same, they're sixths, and 3 plus 4 equals 7. Again, we have an improper fraction, so let's change that into a mixed number. I'm going to pull out one whole piece. 6 out of 6 is my whole piece. And what's left over when I take 6/6 away from 7/6? 7 take away 6 equals 1. So I would rewrite my mixed number as 1 whole and 1/6. All right, let's try it out on our own now. No tape diagrams drawn for us, no prompting questions. We got to do it on our own this time. So I'll start by making the tape diagram to represent 1/2, and then the tape diagram to represent 5/8. My 1/2 with one piece shaded in, and my 1/8. I need to shade in 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have different units and I want to make them like. What's the missing factor to get us from 2 to 8? 2 times 4 equals 8. So that means I'm going to decompose each of my halves into 4 pieces. That's going to change my fraction. What was once 1/2 is now 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 pieces. I'm going to add that to my 5/8. My 8ths will remain the same. 4 plus 5 equals 9. You already know it's improper, so I'm going to have to take the time to build my number bond. One whole piece would be 8/8. 9/8, take away 8/8, leaves me with 1/8. Which means my mixed number would be 1 whole piece and 1/8. Let's try it again without visual models. This time we're going to solve without a model. We're just going to use what we already know about multiplication and factors to help create like units. 4/12 and 3/4. I can't add them together because my units are not the same. I have 4ths. And I have 12ths. I want to decompose my larger unit, my 4ths, and I want to change them into 12ths. 3/4 times what mystery factor will make 12ths? Well, 4, 8, 12. 4 times 3 will do the job. 3 times 3 equals 9, so I can rename 3/4 as 9/12. So now we have all 12ths. We have 4/12, our original 12ths fraction, plus 9/12. And that equals how many 12ths? 4 plus 9 is 15. Remember that it is improper to leave your numerator larger than your denominator. So let's turn this into a mixed number. 15/12. Take away 1 whole, which is 12/12. And how many 12ths are left? 15. Take away 12 equals 3/12. For a total of 1 whole and 3/12. Let's try it again. We have our smaller unit 10ths, our larger unit 5ths. We want to change our larger unit and decompose it into our smaller unit. How can we change 2/5 into 10ths? The missing factor to get from 5 to 10 is 2. So I'll multiply both my numerator and denominator by 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. So now I can rewrite my sentence. I have my 9/10 plus my new fraction, 4/10. Our tenths remain the same. And I'm going to add 9 and 4 together. 9 plus 4 is 13. Let's decompose that. I'm going to take out 1 whole, 10/10. And that will be the 1 whole in my mixed number. 13/10, take away 10/10, leaves me with 3/10. So my mixed number would be 1 and 3/10. One last round. We have our larger unit, which is actually the first one here, is halves. And our smaller unit is sixths. We want to change our halves into sixths. What do we need to multiply to change 2 to 6? What's that missing factor? 2 times 3 equals 6. So I'll also multiply my numerator times 3 for 3/6. And now I'll plug that into my number sentence. Instead of 1/2, my new fraction is 3/6 plus the 5/6 that were already in my number sentence equals my sixths stay the same. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Since it's improper, let's change it into a mixed number. I'll pull out my whole group. 6/6. 8/6, take away 6/6, leaves me with 2/6. So my mixed number would be 1 whole and 2/6. Now it's your turn. Good luck on your problem set.